Welcome to the first video of Section 3. This is Reactstrap Overview. Our first stop is going to be to take a look at the Twitter Bootstrap page. So open up your browser and direct it to getbootstrap.com. I'm not going to spend a ton of time here on the Bootstrap page. There's plenty of reading if you've never used Bootstrap before. Let me just try to sum it up for you in just a few seconds. So Bootstrap is a library consisting of JavaScript and CSS. And when you add this to your project, you can prototype your user interface very, very quickly. It comes with a lot of Bootstrap components. And I'm being careful to say components here. We're not talking about React components at this stage. We're talking about Bootstrap components. It comes with a bunch of Bootstrap components that allow you to build your user interface. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to go to the documentation link here at the top, and then I'm going to find the components link down here in the list. And this is going to take me to a list of components, starting with alerts. And we can see that the alert component is designed to provide contextual feedback messages for typical user interactions, etc. If I scroll down, I'm going to see what this Bootstrap component actually looks like. So I can see that this is a fairly typical warning message that you might see on any site, just presented in several different colors. Bootstrap comes with a series of colors, and you're seeing them here: primary, secondary, success, danger, warning, etc. If I scroll down a little bit further, I can see how this works in traditional HTML development. We would just go ahead and attach the Bootstrap CSS and JavaScript files just like any other, and then from there we just leverage the classes. So here we can see we're applying just to a div the alert and the alert primary class. So this is going to make it an alert, and then this is going to make it the primary color. And then Bootstrap uses roles to define the behavior of the Bootstrap components. So as we scroll down, we can see that this is sort of the old school way of doing it. We are now React developers, so we want a React version of all of this. Before we jump into Reactstrap, I would encourage you, if you've never used Bootstrap before, to pause the video for a moment, go through and just click on some of these different components so you can see what's available. And when you come back, presuming you have, I'd like you to take a look at the components list: alerts, badge, breadcrumb, buttons. Try to commit this to short-term memory for just a moment. Collapse, drop-down, forms, etc. Our next stop is going to be the Reactstrap website. That's going to be at reactstrap.github.io. When I go there, I can see that I have a components button here. If I scroll down just a little bit, I can see I have installation instructions here. The most important thing being the name of the package. So it's Reactstrap. Let's go ahead and click our components button. And now we can see the exact same thing that we saw a minute ago, except the list of components is on the right side instead of the left. And if you think back into your short-term memory, you'll recall alerts, badge, breadcrumbs, buttons, button drop-down. They're pretty much all here. So this is a one-to-one conversion of all of the Bootstrap components into React components. Let's take a look at the difference. We'll scroll down a little ways to see the example code. And we can see that it is in fact a React component. We're importing alert from Reactstrap, and then we're using the alert tag here in JSX to actually render our alert, and then we're passing in a property where we're setting the color to primary or secondary or success, or whichever one you want to use. As I scroll down, I'll find documentation on what properties I can pass into this particular component. So it takes class name, so I can style this with CSS. It takes color, as we've seen. There's an isOpen capability here where you can open and close the alert message. There's even a transition property in here where you can actually cause it to fade in and out. All of the Reactstrap components in the documentation pretty much follow this format. a simple example at the top and then the properties that are available. And then after that, there's usually extra examples that do different things. So here we've got an example where we're adding a hyperlink into our alert message. If we scroll down a little bit more, we'll see a larger version of an alert message with a title and then a whole bunch of text after it. And if we scroll down still further, we'll see an alert that can be dismissed. Now all of these are interactive. You can play with them. So if I click this, I can see that it goes away. So I think you get the idea. We've got very good documentation here, lots of good samples to work with. You might as well leave this page open because we're going to come back to this page rather frequently as we build our application. There's only one thing left to do then, and that is to install Reactstrap and Bootstrap. You have to install both of them. So let's switch back over to Visual Studio Code. I happen to have a server running here, so I'll hit Control-C to get rid of it. And I'll hit clear so that we have a nice clean starting place. And I'll type in npm install Reactstrap and Bootstrap. I'll put both of them in there. Once the installation is done, I should see that both of them have been installed. I've got Reactstrap and Bootstrap in there. So now we are ready to start using Reactstrap in our project.